Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're somebody who's watched the channel for quite some time, you know that I love me some independent films. Doesn't matter, doesn't have to be just horror. Any kind of independent film I love to talk about because there's just something about that do it yourself, the DIY process, guys. Of just getting it done and seeing where some of these newer filmmakers, where they're getting their feet wet and where they're going to go on to bigger and better things. And I was on Facebook and I came across Monster Kid Productions. Now, the man behind Monster Kid Productions, the director of these films, Mr. James Dean, I reached out to him and asked him about some of the films that he had. And, he sent me a link to some of them. One of them is on YouTube. Two of them are on Tubi. And I went and I watched all three films. And I was pleasantly surprised. Not only is this guy he's a really nice guy. I had, a conversation with him and, just a really nice guy all around. And, I had a chance to go and watch all three films, and all three films are different. They're all different in their own way. Now, the first film that I watched was called Absolution. This one I watched on Tubi. It kind of reminded me of that movie VFW a little bit. It's kind of like the idea, the town kind of like just kind of going to crap. You have drug dealers out there, just kind of bringing the town down. You have this older gentleman, and you could definitely tell he has some military background, and he's just tired of it. He's tired of putting up with this crap, and he kind of gets, these three of these thugs, basically these drug dealers, are kind of like starting crap with him, and he lets them have it. He lets them have it, and they're out for revenge on him. And on his way home, he finds this girl who also had a run-in with them, and she is injured. And he brings her back to his place, and he's healing her back to health. And he is not done with just doing that, guys. He is out for revenge. And throughout the film, there's just this process of him thinking, how is he going to get revenge? Finding out where these guys are at. How is he going to take them down? And I like it. And also, getting like a relationship with this young girl. Building like a bond with this girl. With like a grandfather granddaughter type, situation with these two. And I like that. One thing that I will say about the film, and the film's well acted. It is well acted. I will say that the main character, this older gentleman, he has some kind of history with this woman who works at the local like diner that he goes to all the time and gets coffee every day. And I would like to have seen a little bit more their backstory, like what happened, like because something happened between the two of them, but it doesn't really go into detail about exactly what happened with them. I would like to have seen a little bit more with that. But overall, I think this film it's pretty solid. I really do. And when we get into like some of the the action towards the end of the film, it's good. It's well choreographed. I do like it. Some pretty good practical effects being done with this one as well. And for some people might look at the film and be like, "Oh, it's a little slower paced." I don't think so. I think what it does is it just gradually builds up to that climax. So it gives you a chance to like get to know the characters, really, sympathize with them. And, when things start happening at the end of the film, you have those characters now that you're kind of like invested in, and you want to see, them come through and shine at the very end of the film. So I think this one is I give it I give it two thumbs up, guys. This one was a solid entry into Monster Kid Productions for me. The first film that I watched from them. Now the second film I watched, completely different, completely different, guys. Don't watch it with the young ones around. It is XXX-MAS, and essentially what it is, Santa is going on a killing spree. This one is on, believe YouTube. I watched this one on, and yeah, like I said, don't watch it with the kids around. There is, there are quite a lot of ladies in this film, and basically, like I said, the premise is Santa kind of goes on a killing spree because the gentleman behind a X-rated film company. Yes, he's been a naughty boy. Let's put it that way. He's been a naughty boy. So Santa is going to this film shoot, this X-rated film shoot, and he is about to lay it down big time. Great kills. The acting, again, not bad. Pretty solid. Felissa Rose is in this, so nice to see her in this film. But Santa, he brings it. I'm telling you right now, guys, this one I had fun with. At first, I'm watching this film, I'm like, I'm not quite sure what I'm getting myself into with this one. But when it ramped up, especially at the second half of the film. Like I said, great kills, really good gore in this one. And I had fun with it. Like I was laughing at some of the things. I was having really good time with this one. Like I said, just don't watch it with the little ones around. That is for sure. I'm not going to spoil the end of the film, but yeah, it's an interesting one. It's quite the trip. And I'm hoping and James Dean, if you're listening to watching this video, we're gonna get a sequel to this one. I think maybe we'll get a sequel to this one. I would definitely check it out. I had a lot of fun with this one. And finally, on Tubi, I watched Fontaine and the Vengeful Nun Who Wouldn't Die. Had to write this one down. It's a long title. Had to write it down. This one, I would say probably if I'm ranking all three of them, this would probably be at my bottom, but still solid. Still solid. Just because at the bottom doesn't mean it's not solid. This one, it took me a little bit longer to get into this one. It definitely has like that grindhouse feel to it, the old school grindhouse feel to it. Definitely reminds me of Kill Bill. Definitely reminds me of Kill Bill. Maybe like a little bit of Miss 45 as well. But this one, it's basically this girl. It's hard to explain this film. This is exactly what's going on with this one. But you have this nun who wears like an eye patch. She has a samurai sword, and her girlfriend is also she's also has her way of handling things. They're both can take care of themselves as far as like kicking butt. There's like flashbacks that go on in this film as well, and our Mary, our main, the one with the patch, the main lead, the main nun in the film. Like I said, this and her girlfriend that she met kind of like in the sanitarium or some kind of psychiatric home. They are together. They've learned the way of handling themselves and combat. But now she's gone. Her girlfriend has now disappeared. She's off doing something, and Mary's trying to find her and find exactly what happened to her, as well as taking down this drug dealer Fontaine. And where's the church fit into this whole thing and her beliefs. And like I said, good action in this one. Some pretty good action, more towards like the second half of the film. Some good action, but this one, it like I said, not a bad film. It just took me a little bit longer to get into it, to really kind of piece things together to see exactly what was going on with it. But I still enjoyed it overall. By the time the end of the film came around, I did enjoy it. And one thing that I will say about all three of these films is that we're using a lot of the same actors and actresses in these films. So you're going to see a face that you saw in the first film, and by the time you get to the third film that they've made, you're going to say, "Oh, hey, I remember they were just in the other one that I watched, and they were in this one." So I love how they're using the same actors and actresses in these films. That I really do enjoy. So, but overall, Monster Kid Productions, I'll tell you guys, three films in, and they've all been pretty darn solid. I've enjoyed all of them. Like I said, they're all different in their own way, and that I really can appreciate that. They're, kind of dip your feet into one genre, then maybe try another one, and then try another one. I like that. It's not You're not just doing it cookie cutter and doing one genre and doing all the films the same. You're trying a little bit something different in each and every one, and that I definitely, again, two thumbs up. And James Dean, again, if you're watching this video, thank you for sending me the links to these films and hooking me up, being able to watch these. Definitely, I enjoyed all three of them. I can't wait to see what you guys do next with your company. So, guys, like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I'll catch you in another episode. Take care.